If you close your eyes.
Did you hear that? Is that a 20? That's a 20, isn't it? It's a 20. Well, hello, it's me, Anna Brian G. Today, excuse my messy hair, by the way. We're going to be, well, as you see, it's a 20 subscriber. We're gonna be working on Project Crystal today as a 20 subscriber special. Now you might ask, what on earth is Project Crystal? Find out. Not next season. No, not next episode. No, now. Okay, so Project Crystal is waiting for us upstairs. So let's go. Let's go upstairs. Dun 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 dun. Epic quest. Goodbye. Yeah, sorry about that. The camera just decided to turn off. So, anyways, here is your motherboard. All beautiful. Let me zoom in for a second. There you go. Oh, other way. There you go. So this right there is what we're going to be focusing on. So you got a little pin. Oh, geez, you got a little pin there. You want to push down and take away and open it up, which allows this little flap to open. Take it out. You open it up, and somewhere in here. Can't find it. Anyways, there should be an arrow, a small little arrow that lines up with this small little arrow. Focus. Hold on. Focus. There you go. That little arrow right there should line up with somewhere on this motherboard. Right there. There's that little engraving. So that. Hold on. There you go. You might not be able to see it very well. Like right there. You see it's missing a little part, which gives it a little arrow. Well, that's where we're going to be installing our little CPU here. So what you're going to do, you're going to very carefully, zoom out a bit, there you go. You're going to very carefully open up this little box with a CPU inside. And grab it by the green stuff, right there. Now line up the arrow and just drop it in. There you go. It shouldn't be very hard. You shouldn't have to push it in or anything. After you got that done, you're just going to want to close that. You're going to flip it down. There'll be a bit of strength involved. There you go. And then this just pops off. There you go. So, there you go, CPU installed. That's great. Now, so hold up, zoom out. There you go. I don't have it yet, but next up would usually be the RAM that you would insert to your motherboard, to your slots right here. But as I don't have the RAM yet, it is still on the way. I'm just gonna move up to the CPU cooler. There you go. CPU cooler in the house. I'm going to remove this box because I don't need it. There you go. CPU cooler is right here. Move that out of the way. I'm going to need it though. So, it's taped again, so I'm going to open it up like this. There you go. Now it should open fairly easily. Nope, ow. That worked. Just, ow. There you go, I managed. So you open it up. Okay, that works. Yeah, you're going to have those brackets. You're going to need those brackets for installing it onto the CPU. And then, there you go. So now I'm going to put that away. Got, there, there it is. You got your little CPU cooler with a little freshening thing. So yeah, there it is. That's the CPU cooler. That's the part that actually sits on the CPU. It says warning, remove the tag first, but yeah, I'm gonna do that in a bit. If I can find it. Hold on. There you go. Nope, not there. There. So, first thing you want to do is, not all, but here there's a little bottle of, what do you call it? The thermal paste. And you're going to want to spread a tiny little bit on top of the CPU. So what you're going to do, so you're going to see this white part. Actually, no, hold on. First you want to install the brackets at the bottom. Right? Yeah. So it comes with little brackets that you're going to have done. This is probably one of the the hardest part of the installation of the CPU cooler. It's probably the hardest thing to install on your little motherboard. So you might want to check with your what's it called, with your thing, CPU cooler manual, which is this guy right here. You just take it out of the bag and start reading it. And you got a warranty and all that stuff. There you go. There it is. So, alright, so first thing I'm going to do is, well, I'm going to lower this motherboard over here into here so I can attach this bracket to the back of the motherboard so I can attach the cooling system. But first, we're going to need to add the I/O shield to the case itself. So we're going to do that now. You're going to need to apply some force. It's not always the easiest thing to do, but you're going to have to hear click sounds like that. There you go. Well, that was easier than I thought it would be. Anyways, so I'm going to get this cable out of the way. Just no, you don't want to stay. There you go. So now what I'm going to do is all those screws you see, the golden little screws that I have installed here, I'm going to lower the motherboard with the holes onto this thing here, which will grab the motherboard so I can attach all the screws to it. So that's what I'm going to do now. I'm going to grab the motherboard very carefully. You don't want to touch any of the sensible parts. So sensitive. Can you help me out for a second? There you go. Thank you. Let's bring it down very carefully. Alright, so now I'm going to screw it in, because since we got it in, we got it in perfectly, so I'm going to screw it in with those screws. Middle one first. Don't screw it down all the way yet. I'm going to do that at the end. So I got all the screws in, as you might have seen, but I found some magnetic screw drives. That's very useful if you're building this thing. Just a lot easier to work with. Anyway, so let's go to the back of this now. So all we're gonna do is over here, we're gonna get those screws to fit through. Hold on. So now that that's mounted, I'm going to go ahead back to the other side of the case. Thank you. And not do that. Alright, now we're going to need those little screws that we're going to attach to the bracket that we just mounted. Just screw them in like that. Very boring, but they give you this little piece that you can put on and a screw from there. So work in a star pattern. And go to the top right and top left. There you go. So now we got that. I'm gonna move that stuff out of the way, and we're gonna get back to the laying the case back on the floor, or like that. Alright, so now we're going to attach those little brackets right here onto this part of the heatsink, so that these screws can attach to the screws we just screwed in before. So yeah, let's do that then. There you go. So now that we got that, we can peel that off, apply some thermal paste, and then insert it into the case. So let's do that. Alright, so we got some of this thermal paste. We're going to apply a little bit onto the CPU. Now don't touch the CPU, otherwise you get your fingerprints and it's not going to work as its full potential. So what you're going to do, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a pair of scissors and cut this open. Just like so. Now I got some thermal paste. Hold on.
On my kitchen scissors.
My kitchen scissors. I'm going to apply a little bit, like a grain of rice on the CPU. There you go. Now what I'm going to do is first I'm going to peel this off. Peel this little. There you go. So now that's peeled off, I'm going to grab my screwdriver and very carefully place. Oh, first you want to move those all in to their innermost positions if I can. Hold on. There you go. There you go. So now I'm going to slowly apply this sideways. Grab my screwdriver and go in a diamond pattern or star pattern, so to apply pressure evenly. There you go. So if you would have had your RAM, you would have your RAM installed right there. I don't, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the fan right now. I'm going to place it so that the cable is closest to the motherboard, and I'm going to just click it in like that. There you go. Like that, and we can put that aside for now. Alright, so now we're going to be unboxing this PSU, the power supply that is going to be powering the PC, the crystal. So, first things first, we need to open it. There you go. Opening up. Put that aside for now. I'll put that away later. And so we got the box now, which has another layer of tape. Of course, guess what? There is also another layer of knife that I'm going to be cutting that tape away with. Then we can open this box up. There we go. All dramatic music please. So, with it we get a beautiful bag that we can carry our CPU with, PSU. And in here is the actual CPU, PSU. you go, you get a fancy bag and all that. So after that, we got tons of cables and Velcro straps for cable management, and a bunch of cables in case you need some. Well, so that you can connect all your power to this beautiful PSU, which I'm going to open up. There you go. That's perfect. And there's a power supply, so put that back away. So you got a fan up here, and you got all the connectors in here that are labeled that way. So you can connect all the cables that you need to that power supply. And I'm gonna figure out which cables I need, and I'll be right back with the cables installed. So what I did here is I connected all the cables, as you can see. They're all right here. And this is the power supply. I'm just gonna put it against this wall here, and then I'm gonna screw it in here, which is what we're gonna be doing now. Alright, so what we're gonna do now is there's a screw hole here, one there, and one there. That's where we're going to be screwing these in. And by the way, the cables here, they're all labeled, so only plug into the power supply the ones that you really need. And they're all labeled, so don't worry about that. It's pretty easy. There you go. So power supply is mounted. Now, for sure, last step. Looking over here to check. Almost last step is the graphics card. So let's get to it. All right. So what we're gonna do now is we're gonna check out the new graphics card that I buy. It's an NVIDIA GeForce GTX 1070 Founders Edition. So why not check it out right now? It's right here in front of me. It's a pretty cool graphics card. Honestly, it comes in a great box. Take it out like that. There you go. Take the box aside. So there's a graphics card. They have this little easy to open thing over here. You can open it up and take it out. Do that right now. There you go. There it is. The GeForce GTX 1070. You can peel off all the plastic, by the way. It's really necessary. If not, then it's going to start melting. It's going to break your parts, and you don't really want that, do you? So put that aside. Installing a graphics card is really simple. So let's take a look at it. At it inside the case. Let's go. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to install this GTX 1070 into the case. Put it down carefully. But first we're going to need to remove two of those brackets. One is already removed because we removed it already. So second one I'm going to remove now. Can you hand me a screwdriver? Thank you. I'm going to do this. There you go. Uninstall. Take out this guy. There you go. Now what you're gonna do is usually you'd like to use the one closest to the CPU so that you can it's more powerful basically. So you're gonna look at that config, and you're gonna plug it in at that one right up there. And go in very slowly, and you're gonna push it in until you hear a click. There you go. I heard a click. So now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this thumb drive or thumb screw that I just took out. You're going to screw your GPU graphics card in there if I can manage. Hold on. Alright, so what we're going to do now is right here we're going to install this guy. I know it's not really Now most PCs don't really have those anymore, but I like to use it because my Windows 10 is a CD, and I like to use CDs for some reason. So I'm just gonna install this. So what I'm gonna do is first, for my case, I'm just gonna pop off one of those. But since I already done that, I have a spot open right here. So I'm just simply gonna slide it in right there, like so. And now I'm gonna grab the screws, and you want to screw in every single screw. Otherwise, it's gonna be the fan is gonna shake it, and any loose material is going to bang around. It's gonna make some noise, and you don't want that. So I'm gonna head to the other side again, and what I'm gonna do is I'm going to find where the screw holes are. Again, I'm gonna screw them in right there. You want to screw in all of them. And there you go. All the screws are inserted. The drive is ready to use. And I can press the button without it sliding all over the place. So that's pretty much that part of the PC. Now comes this bad boy. Right here we got the PCI Express card. We're going to be installing that to the motherboard. For that, we're going to lay down the case. So yeah, let's do that. Alright, so now we're going to install this little guy, which is the SSD, and it's on board, which means it's bus speed, which means it's going to be super fast. It's a PCIe card. So what we're going to do is we're going to take it out of the little box, and be sure not to touch any of the sensitive parts, because there is a lot. So you can see right here there's a little dent. It's not really visible because it's not focusing, but that doesn't matter. And there's a little dent right there. You're going to line that up. Just going to plug it in. Just like so. It's going to angle up a bit, but there you go. That's installed. So, I can't get my thumb in there. There you go. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time where I'm going to be using this. See ya!